you having a great time today? Yeah, fantastic. So my name is Max Gouchan, and 1.5 years ago, I was in this startup in Stavanger, and during those 1.5 years, I met some challenges and gained some experience. And today I want to speak to you about 3 main challenges. One is lack of knowledge, one is lack of money, and one is lack of time. So it's been 1.5 years since we started up, and the first challenge we met was I felt I can't do it. What a great feeling to have when you start up a company. I can't do it. Let me give you 2 examples. If you, for example, want to make an iPhone app and you can't program, you will automatically feel, I can't do this. In my case, I lacked engineering knowledge. And that gave me 2 choices. Either take a master degree, work 5 or 10 years in the oil and gas industry, and then start up in 15 years, or I could find somebody who has done that before me, because sometimes I'm a little bit impatient. So I choose the second alternative. But I soon found out that finding engineers in Stavanger is not that easy, especially when you don't have a degree and you have 0 kronas and you're 18 years old. And I wanted to have the best engineers. I didn't just want to have engineers. I want to have the best that I could find in Stavanger. Today we have 4 of the great engineers working on the ClickLift project. And I got them by showing up. It's all about saying yes rather than no. It's all about getting out of the sofa and showing up where it's happening. Let me give you 2 examples. Does anybody know who this guy is? Nobody, never does, so fear not. This guy, his name is Bill Fernandez. Bill Fernandez had an awesome friend called Steve Jobs. And one evening he says, hey Steve, I want you to meet a friend of mine. Do you want to hang out tonight? Steve Jobs could have said, nah, I'm going to do some homework, now I'm going to relax, I'm going to sit in the sofa and watch TV. That wasn't Steve Jobs. He said, yes, of course, let's meet him. And that yes and that meeting resulted in him meeting Steve Wozniak. And together they formed Apple, changed the world, you know the story. And that shows how important it is to say yes rather than no. In my case, 2 years ago, my phone rang. I was in this political board meeting, and I remember that phone call because it changed my life. I took up the phone, and it was this guy named Sjur Usken who called me. And I didn't know him then. And he asked me, Max, do you want to take participation in getting starter weekend to Stavanger? And my head thought, oh, I have 4 part-time jobs, I have 4 political positions, and I'm in college. I don't have time. But of course, my mouth never agreed with me, so I was like, yeah, come on, let's do it. This sounds fantastic, great, let's go for it. So, and I never regret saying yes on that phone call. I never regret it, because that ended up me going to start a weekend, and I met Arnfinn Matre. Arnfinn Matre, he's 35 years old, has almost 2 master degrees. He's one of the best engineers I ever known, and together we joined Starter Weekend, we formed a team, we won, and that was the beginning of ClickLift. I wouldn't be here today if I said no and choose to just be at home and relax that weekend. So I can't imagine how my life would be if I would just say no to that one phone call. It's amazing how the power of yes is. And Arnfinn, he's a really good guy. I remember he quit in National Oil Well, and they hired 500 people after he quit. I don't know if it was rapid expansion or to fill his space. You choose. And my best tip is to only hire the best. Because in a startup, you need to surround you with people that are much greater than you. I met Bjørn Kjos one time, the CEO of the Norwegian airline company Norwegian, and one advice he gave me, only find people that are better than you. And that's what we try to do. One thing that was really stuck me, that at one point, me and Arnfinn had enough money to hire a student. And that was really special for me, because we are running these interviews, and we wanted to have the best student in Stavanger. And I remember, 1 year ago, I couldn't get a job in the grocery shop because I wasn't qualified enough. And here I was supposed to interview this guy for a job. I think I was 10 times more nervous than he was on the interview. 10 times more nervous. And we got the best engineer we could have, Christian Sørensen. And I remember the first time we paid him salary, I never forget that feeling. I was really touched. It was so amazing to create value, and I wanted to have that feeling again. So only find the best. The people are out there. If you lack some knowledge, you can't get them. Second challenge is when you're in a startup, you don't have money. So I was walking around thinking, oh, I don't have money. because it was a natural feeling. And then I was at this business conference, and I spoke to an investor, and he said, Max, look around. What do you see? And I looked around, and I saw, well, a bunch of guys in their 40s and 50s wearing nice suits. And he was like, no, Max, what I see is walking millions and walking billions of kroners in this room, walking around. And I was, oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. And he said, the money is out there. You just have to learn how to get them. And as the two speakers up here, I also had a midlife crisis. I was turning 19 and was thinking, oh my God, I'm halfway to 40, what am I doing with my life? I need to get it on. And we started to get in money. First we got ePark as partner and got money from innovation, and it kept going. The last challenge was actually that I didn't have time. When I started up, I had 4 part-time jobs, I had 4 political positions, and I was also in college, and I thought, where on earth I'm going to find time to this? But then I had a look at these numbers, 70, 80, 90. Grant, you'll perhaps become 70, I'll perhaps become 80. It looks like you work out, so you'll perhaps be 90. But the point is that life is so limited, and after this, we're gone. But what I think is that when you're getting closer to the end, you will reflect on life. What on earth did I do with it? And I want to sit there and think, I did what I really wanted to do. I followed my dreams, and I really did what I wanted to do. I don't want to regret what I spent my life in, because it's so limited and it's going so fast. And if your dream is to get a master's degree and work in a big company, fantastic, pursue it. Is your dream to become a dancer and move to New York and dance all your life? Fantastic. Is your dream to start up a company? Great, but I think it's so important that people find time and pursue the dream, because life is limited. And life is also about having fun. Tom Peters, the famous leader guru, was in Stavanger last week. And he said, you're going to spend so many hours at work. Why don't have fun? Why don't create good memories? And I can say that the last 1.5 years, I had a lot of fun. And getting the best people and having fun is a part of life. So don't waste it going to a job you don't like, and don't waste it on regretting at the end of your life, what on earth did you do with it? We started up because we saw in the oil and gas industry, it looks peaceful, you have a lot of coffee breaks, you eat a lot of good food, a lot of time off, but there is a dangerous beast out there, known as the container. It looks harmless, but it's quite dangerous. It's like a ticking time bomb with a broken timer. You never know when it's go off. And when it goes off, the impact can be lethal. That's why we're working on a solution to make the lifting operation much more safer. We're on a patent process, so we have been a little bit quiet about it, but we have a good response from the oil and gas industry. So to quickly sum it up, if you want to start something up, the great people are out there. There's a lot of talented and great people in the world. You just have to find them, and you just have to get them. Say yes rather than no. Don't use your life spending watching Paradise Hotel in your sofa. Get out there like this TEDx and meet new people. You never know when you meet a person who is going to change your life. And the money is out there, you just have to know how to get them. They are out there, you just have to know how to get them. And last time, if you are really passionate about something, if you really care about something, you are going to find time for it. If not, that's not your thing. Keep looking, don't settle. Because when you find it, you will find time to pursue the dream too. Thank you.